The wait is finally over. Professional soccer has returned to Austin, and with it, a rivalry is born. Nestled in turn 15 of Circuit of the Americas, it's the home of the Austin Bold, the home opener tonight, as they welcome their Hill Country rival just down the road, San Antonio FC, for their first ever meeting here in the 2019 campaign. Hi everyone, Lincoln Rose along with Kit McConico welcoming you in. Look forward to the next 90 minutes between these two clubs. Obviously first ever meeting, and yet, Kit, so much history and passion behind this clash tonight.
Oh, it's a great rivalry. Austin and San Antonio, long awaited, these two fan bases. They are here tonight, a sold-out stadium, anticipating a great matchup.
Take a look first at the standings in the USL Championship as we are just still in this opening month. A brilliant start for Tulsa atop the pack in the West. New Mexico United, what a debut they have had here in the Southwest as well. Each of these two teams still looking for their first win, trying to emerge into the top 10. Of course, the top 8 ultimately will qualify for the postseason. Long road still ahead. So for the visiting side, San Antonio makes the trip up I-35. This is just the shortest rivalry, second shortest rivalry in all of the USL. What do we need to see out of SAFC for them to find their first full 3 points on the year?
Well, for the visitors, it's about playing fast and furious. They have a younger team, and they think they have a speed advantage. They're going to be looking to really push the pace, force Austin to play their style. That will give them opportunities in the counterattack and weather the storm. Austin playing their first ever home game before a sold-out crowd, an electric atmosphere tonight, and that will be in Austin's favor. For the home side, possess the ball. That is something they like to do. They like to keep the ball in offense. They need to play the full 90. They were up there last time out. They lost at Reno in the second half, and seize the moment, enjoy the moment. You only get one home opener ever, and that is what they have tonight, hoping to come away with their first 3 points of the season.
Plenty of memories still to be made for this expansion side Bold. When you talk about San Antonio, some of the greatest memories in pro soccer history in the Alamo City involve this man, Billy Forbes.
The one and only, the Turks and Caicos international, a dynamic midfielder. Very impressive what he can do with the ball. He can score, he can lay it off. Austin is going to have to keep number 77 in check.
And one of those guys who will try to shut down Billy, an old teammate of his across the way, minding the net, Diego Restrepo.
That's exactly right. Restrepo was the USL Championship Goalkeeper of the Year in 2017. A former San Antonio man gets a chance to go up against his former teammates tonight as a member of Austin Bold.
We are getting closer and closer to opening kick here in Austin. When we come back, Bold and SAFC, round 1.
Can you hear it? It's the sound of hope and health and strength. It's the sound of compassion, of open doors, where people and machines are in tune and miracles occur. It's the sound of personalized healthcare and active communities. It sounds like life, and it's what you hear when you really listen.
Fans continuing to file into Bold Stadium. Austin and San Antonio about to collide. Let's take a look at the starting 11. First up for visiting head coach Darren Powell. It'll be a new look, especially in goal. Jonathan Viscosi will make his debut, the Canadian, in frame in place of Matthew Cardoni. And of course, the man they signed just 2 days ago, Brian Gomez, the Argentine, looking to make an impact.
Gomez, he'll start his career at Argentinos Juniors. Keep an eye on number 20 for the visitors.
For the Austin Bold in their first ever home game here in Austin, Marcelo Serrano, just a few tweaks to the lineup. Of course, Diego Restrepo, the former keeper for San Antonio, back in frame. Chris Tierpak is out with a knee injury, but plenty of men looking to step up and fill those minutes.
Yeah, Dorio Conca up on the left wing will be the captain. Kleber up top, the number 9, and on his side, Promise Isaac, a very impressive trio up top for Austin.
For Isaac, it'll be his long-awaited debut, spent last year in the NPSL with the Georgia Revolution. Lincoln Rose, Kip McConico with you here tonight. And for the first time today, a chance to check in with Megan Birdsong down on the pitch. Megan?
Guys, welcome to the pitch here at Bold Stadium. It's an exciting night. The stadium is epic, and everyone is so excited. I stood by Bobby Epstein earlier, the owner of Austin Bold, and he said tonight is just going to be historical. He said they're excited. The weather is crazy. The fans are so excited, and he's looking forward to an incredible match and for the first win to happen here on the pitch tonight for Austin Bold. Guys.
Our referee tonight, Yusri Rudolph, seen a lot of time in MLS as your fourth official and in charge of the VAR. No replay tonight for Yusri. He'll be right in the middle of the action.
A good crew tonight, well known. The Canadian in the middle, ready to get underway. What an atmosphere here at Bold Stadium. The first ever match at this beautiful facility right in the middle of the Circuit of the Americas racetrack. Long awaited in the capital city. The fans, they were here early, and they are ready for their Bold to get underway at home.
It is standing room only. The sellout made official yesterday as we saw the final dozen seats start to be claimed, as it should be a fantastic atmosphere this evening for professional soccer. Kit, over the years we have seen a lot of historical moments for both Austin and San Antonio soccer. Tonight, an exciting moment for the fans who have waited since 2015 for the return of the professional game here in the capital city.
A great history of soccer, both in the Alamo City and in the capital city. But Austin fans, they have not had a team to cheer for. They do now.
Underway as the Bold with the early control. First home match for the Bold, a bye week this past week after a trip out to Nevada. Opened up against Las Vegas with the scoreless draw, the first clean sheet of the year for Diego Restrepo. They would drop a 2-1 decision at Reno 1868 after Kleber would give them an early advantage that they would relinquish. Again, of course, that goal for Kleber, the first ever goal in Bold history.
And his 173rd in his illustrious career for the Gladiator, the Brazilian.
Again, Darren Powell trying to find the right formula. 3 matches in here to the 4th season for San Antonio FC. A lot of changes in the offseason, an entirely rebuilt back line and after the retirement of Greg Cochran. And, of course, Ryan Rushandel, who has ties to both of these communities, joining the coaching staff. And our early tie-up between these two squads. We can talk about the rivalry between Austin and San Antonio. Obviously, most of these gentlemen suited up tonight have few connections otherwise, but they feel it.
Oh, they certainly do. The stadium, as you see the foul there, Sion McFarland, the Jamaican right back, formerly of Miami FC, an absolutely impressive player on that back line for Austin. And he's fouled by Moises Hernandez. The Guatemalan commits the first infraction of the match.
Hernandez, second year with San Antonio FC. Last year, final 6 matches to close out the USL campaign. Returned to SAFC last week on loan from FC Dallas.
They anticipate a physical match with these two teams. They know what's at stake, both looking for their first victory in the championship. San Antonio, they want to weather this initial storm, the emotion that Austin will bring to the pitch early on.
Javier Baez, for a moment there, able to win it back for the Bold. Zaragoza makes his debut tonight, the former Tampa Bay Rowdy. Been nursing a calf injury to start this campaign. Of course, Zaragoza on his resume, the Brazilian best man in Kaká's wedding. And vice versa.
Impressive company he keeps. Austin, a team that likes to dominate possession. They want the ball at their feet.
But Marcelo Serrano actually likes that possession forward at times.
He does indeed. He likes to keep it up in that center third. Also the head coach of the U.S. Virgin Islands, Serrano, the man from Minas Gerais, Brazil, originally. Time with the under-15, under-17 Brazil and USA national teams. Now the head coach of the Bold has brought an international flavor to this side.
Billy Forbes, one of the most prolific goal scorers in San Antonio history, dancing on the edge of the box. As well as he can finish, he can also create. And the Bold are going to deny him a set piece on the corner.
Great job. That is where Forbes is at his most dangerous, with the ball at his feet, running at defenders in one-on-one situations. Has the pace. He can weather tackles. Turks and Caicos International.
Billy left the Alamo City last year to play with Phoenix Rising. Was not the campaign we have come to expect from the man who scored 10 goals for SAFC 2 years ago and helped lead them to the postseason.
That's going to be a great matchup down this near flank. McFarland on Forbes. McFarland comes up with a victory in the first battle between the two.
Delay right now for injury concern along the end line for the home squad Bold. Diego Restrepo, the unofficial ambassador for all of his teammates, when speaking with Yusri Rudolph tonight. Well, you talk about Diego in this rivalry. Obviously, the Venezuelan-born, raised in Colombia till age 11, moved to West Palm Beach. We've seen him both with Tampa Bay, the former Fort Lauderdale Strikers, well-traveled, made himself at home in San Antonio eventually as your goalkeeper of the year in 2017. Found himself a new home this year here in Austin.
Fantastic goalkeeper, reads the game well. Does a great job back there. Began his professional career for Deportivo Táchira in his home country. Spoke with him about that. He said it seemed like a lifetime ago he's played for so many teams since. Very happy to be in Austin. Gets his first touch.
So basically both of these teams, obviously Austin being an expansion side with a brand new back foursome on that line in front of their respective goalkeepers, and that's such a critical chemistry to develop early on.
It really is. And Austin's still trying to get everything straight, still trying to find that starting 11. They've had some injuries, players coming in and out of the lineup, hoping the men starting tonight are the ticket for success.
Here's Jack Barmby, former Portland Timber. As the offering off the left boot of Margua Uche making his first start. Didn't travel more than a yard before that Bold back line able to shut it down. Restrepo, former national champion with those Wahoos of UVA. The former Cavalier, mentioned raised in Florida, one of many products out of the IMG Academy.
Good stretch here from San Antonio. Have some possession. They will have the throw. The visitors looking good after Austin tried to press early.
San Antonio's played one more match. They have not had a bye as of yet, but still each team just 1 point at the moment in the table. Of course, tonight, the inaugural match for both these teams as part of the four-squad Texas rivalry in the Copa Tejas. We'll have more on that a little bit later on. We saw our first Copa Tejas clash, a classic over in El Paso between the Locomotive and RGV. El Paso got out to an early 2-0 start. RGV was able to salvage a point with a couple of late goals in that one. A dramatic finish and a great start again to this four-way rivalry.
What a fantastic competition that is, the Copa Tejas. All four teams going at it. The winner with the best head-to-head record will be awarded that trophy at the end of the season.
Best part of it is why we love soccer. It's supporter-initiated. All about the fans being able to lead the way, dictate the terms of that rivalry.
That's something the Bold have been focused on trying to be supporter-initiated, driven by the fans here in Austin, getting them out here, whether they play for the local teams or they're Sunday footballers.
Baez able to land on this, out to McFarland. He'll send one in just to test the waters with Viscosi again, making his SAFC debut between the posts tonight.
Austin right now, everything up and down that center third, playing very narrow up the spine, would be well served to get some numbers out wide, use the width.
Matt Cardoni is available off the bench. Should they make a change in frame, got the start in those first 3 matches. Of course, no stranger to the hashtag Fear of the Beard with Matt Cardoni, the San Antonio grown. High school, educated in college at Trinity, and has been with multiple now pro franchises in the Alamo City. Has had some great moments and, of course, a dynamic reputation there with Diego Restrepo, who these days calls Austin home, and basically musical chairs the past few years in goal.
When you have 2 goalkeepers of that caliber, which San Antonio has had with Cardoni and Restrepo, that is a huge luxury that not many teams have. A very tough start to the season for Cardoni, a reason why Viscosi gets the start between the sticks for SAFC tonight.
Rare touch for Conca. Argentine coming back this year from a knee injury that kept him out 1 season ago when he was with Shanghai.
And played with Shanghai, played with River Plate in Argentina, Fluminense in Brazil. The Argentine, a fantastic resume, will turn 36 in May. But still a lot left in the tank. Austin has to figure out a way to get Dario Conca involved. Just hasn't seen enough of the ball early this season for Austin.
Oh, a nifty tap, but it'll go unappreciated, at least for the moment, as SAFC will thwart any opportunity to build, as SAFC will win this one back with the whistle.
Cagey early on, as we anticipated it would be. But I know another one of the Argentine additions to this SAFC squad wins the foul.
He has made all 4 starts this year in that midfield for SAFC. Darren Powell, despite the lack of results, just the 1 point through 3 matches, is pleased with the energy and intensity that his men continue to bring day in, day out. Just looking for that right formula. A long season ahead here in the USL Championship. This will be a difficult wind to chew up a lot of real estate with.
Yeah, the idea on that ball was there, but just got caught up in the wind. Austin lucky to retain possession. That's something they're going to have to watch out for, to keep those long balls low and driving, keep them underneath that wind.
Promise Isaac out on the perimeter. And among the players making their debuts for their new franchises here tonight. A couple of dangerous hops, but Viscosi able to get to it unfazed. And Jonathan Viscosi, earlier this month, turned 28 years old, the Canadian out of Ottawa. Opportunity out on the wing. And offside flag is up. Which of these 2 Texas sides will find that opening strike? Again, we already felt the intensity between these 2 communities, even if the average player might not be able to point out where all 4 cities are on a map of the state of Texas.
San Antonio, Austin fans bragging about more than soccer, bragging about who has the better tacos as well. Yep. That's been a talking point this week.
That was a popular shirt being worn tonight by the San Antonio fans. I think we'll have a chance to check in with Megan a little bit later on. Of course, Austin, if they lose the crunchy taco battle, they can always fall back on the breakfast tacos. Barnby. Back to LaHood. What a story, Michael LaHood. Came off the bench for 5 minutes against Phoenix. Will surrender this one back over to Austin. Trying to link up out wide, playing with that wind. Yarrow on the back line, trying to slow things down. Ball sent in with the cross. And opportunity missed. Baez would love to have it again.
As it should have been. That all started with the ball won by Javi Baez right on his side of midfield. The beautiful ball sent in from Malice over the head of Viscosi. Couldn't get to it, and Baez, a chance he will rue missing. The 31-year-old, over 250 appearances in Mexico's top flight between the Necaxa and Chivas Guadalajara.
After Viscosi got the initial touch, all he could do from there was hold his breath. As Baez on the back post, unable to polish it off.
Baez has been one of the shining stars early this year for Austin.
Over 160 matches with Chivas, another 38 for Cruz Azul.
He won that CONCACAF Champions League back in 2014 with La Máquina Cementera of Cruz Azul.
Forbes. Speaking of holding your breath, sit back and enjoy Billy Forbes. Just can't link up there at the top of the 18. As SAFC retreating. Able to throw up a stop sign briefly there was Brian Gomez, the newest competitor for the Alamo City. That ball in touch, unable to save it, McFarland.
That just came off his boot, couldn't keep it in. McFarland's such a dynamic right back in the mold of those new backs. He will be back defensively, can press all the way forward up the wing, start the offense. A true two-way player.
While Austin has just found one goal so far through its first 2 matches on the road, of course, San Antonio had plenty of fireworks in their opener against a team you expect a lot from in Phoenix. This is going to come out 30 yards straight out. Opportunity coming up on this set piece for the visiting side from the Alamo City.
Zaragoza commits the foul. Marcelo Zaragoza there, just a bit too much on it. And the first real opportunity for San Antonio comes via the set piece. This is just about the furthest edges of the range. We'll see if they elect to put this one on the goal of Restrepo. Nicely done. Perano there wins the free kick.
Okugo called for the foul on the trip. Barnby looking to put a little English on this one. And it'll be a corner kick coming up.
Austin Wall does its job. Barnby puts it into the top, wins the corner. Danger still looming for San Antonio.
Barnby's lone goal here early in this campaign on a penalty kick. Quality opportunity there. Bowled up to the challenge. But here's our first corner of the night. Left-footed delivery from Barnby.
And poor delivery there. You need to put that one deeper into the mixer, give a teammate an opportunity to get a touch on it. Now Austin a chance in the counter if they can get numbers forward.
Looking to give the fans a reason to erupt here in the home opener.
Well done, San Antonio quickly getting numbers behind the ball.
Eyeing that back post off the fingertips of Viscosi. And this will be an Austin corner kick coming up.
Twice a ball has been played into the 6 of Viscosi, and twice he's been able to come down with it securely. First time Baez unable to put the shot on frame. Another look here just off his fingertips, and that is one you have to secure.
Very capable Calum Malice. All 3 starts in the midfield. Scottish-born, American-raised product. Of course, we've seen him in MLS with Montreal, Seattle, and Los Angeles. SAFC, the first to get ahead on it, and doing all the heavy lifting, Kai Green on that back line. Malice, a second bite at the apple. Nice service. SAFC struggling to clear. Jermaine Taylor may have had an opportunity there.
San Antonio fortunate to get this ball away. It took them far too long.
And Forbes offside.
Hearts in the throats of the visiting fans there. That ball lurking into the box, and that is never a recipe for success.
Again, Barnby, all 4 starts, the constant in the lineup, and this is his first year with a reinvented SAFC lineup. There are some familiar names, including the return of Billy this year.
Fans in the Alamo City so happy to have number 77 back, a fan favorite, just a great ambassador of the team on and off the pitch. He will stay after every match, signing autographs, taking photos, kind of player you want representing your side.
He left San Antonio a little over a year ago as the all-time leading scorer for SAFC. He has since been surpassed by former teammate Rafa Castillo as well as Ever Guzman. Ever not in the starting lineup tonight as Gomez gets the nod for his debut for Darren Powell. But there's a lot of firepower that has traveled here from Military City, USA.
Guzman, the native of Guanajuato, Mexico, starts on the bench, set a SAFC record with 11 goals a year ago, all-time leading scorer with 15.
Well, you can look to the age of this expansion side in Austin, but one area where it pays off is just how calm they are on that back line under pressure.
They may have the largest difference in ages of any team in the USL Championship, talking about the soon-to-be 36-year-old Dario Conca and the 16-year-old Julian Gaines, both on the same side.
Yeah, what does the return of pro soccer mean to Austin? Well, it means that some of the great talent in the area, like Julian Gaines, rather than midway through high school moving to Dallas or elsewhere, gets to stay at home.
And that's a huge coup for he and his family. His brother Mackenzie, one of the best players to ever come out of Austin, playing professionally in Germany currently. I spoke with Julian. He said, this is huge for me to be able to train with a team like this, with these kind of professionals, before hopefully someday soon making that trip to Europe to follow his brother.
Another look there as Conca and Forbes get tied up. Conca, your captain for the Bold. Hernandez, mentioned one of the newer additions, rejoining San Antonio this year from FC Dallas after last year's loan. Returned in time for the Colorado Springs matchup a week ago.
Austin doing a good job at getting numbers forward, pressing San Antonio down the pitch. And when San Antonio gets possession, as you saw there, no one up in that attacking third to get the ball to.
Right now, the corner flag serving as a windsock. This has been a constant breeze throughout the evening. Nothing new here in this part of the capital city. And it's not just the wind racing, but we are at the home of the F1 track here in the United States, Circuit of the Americas. Sometimes home to Taylor Swift and Justin Timberlake as well.
Good no call there from our official. No foul committed.
Trying to slip one through. McFarland able to intervene for the moment. Diego Restrepo tested for the first time.
That is why he was the league goalkeeper of the year in 2017. A difficult shot, Restrepo, hard to see, but able to get there and comes up with his first test of the evening. He passes with flying colors. Just a missed clearance there. That one ends up with Barnby, and Barnby couldn't get it by his former teammate.
Restrepo helped set that USL record, 12 shutouts in 2017. 16 total in his 48 matches in frame for San Antonio. Again, Diego and SAFC, what a year that was 2 years ago. Second longest shutout streak ever for a USL franchise, 672 minutes spanning from late April to mid-June.
That conversation between Conca and Forbes continues. You see the foul committed on Javi Baez. Right now, he's the most effective on the offensive end for Austin.
You get a great tour of this venue and facility here tonight. Imagine when they announced it to be standing room only the rest of the way. Fans didn't mind some of your best vantage points right on the pitch.
Literally not a bad seat in the house here at Bold Stadium. Beautiful facility.
Those lit up trees, a picnic area to enjoy your concessions. Oh, nifty skills on display. Pirano off his heel, but again, nothing will come from it.
And just off the mark. You like the idea of the build-up from San Antonio moving. That final ball just couldn't find its intended target.
Jonathan Fiscosi had to imagine there was a chance he would get the nod from Darren Powell tonight. After that had been a porous back line, and a lot of that is the organization and falls on the shoulders of the keeper, whether fair or not. Your goal in professional soccer is never to lead the league in saves. You want to make sure that ball doesn't even get to you.
The goalkeeper, more than often, you're going to be the man whatever happens, the blame will fall on your shoulders. Cardone has seen that in the first 3 games this year.
And a dangerous effort there.
The physicality, it started early and just continues to ramp up.
Looking at Toma Daviardi, one of the Frenchmen with the Bold this year, celebrating his birthday back on Wednesday, along with Sonny Guadarrama, one of your local products. Mentioned he available off the bench tonight, while Chris Tierpak, who has spent time in both San Antonio and Austin as a professional, unavailable this evening.
Yeah, the 2 local men born and raised in Austin. Unfortunately, Chris ill, unable to play this evening. Guadarrama hoping to get that call off the bench in the second half.
It's a shame with Tierpak, of course, a national champion with the PDL side in Austin. After being drafted by MLS, would spend his next professional campaign with the Division III side in Austin. Would find his way over to the D2 NASL side in San Antonio, and then with SAFC up until last year when he would return to his former head coach Paul Dalglish in Miami.
At least we forget a stop with the now defunct Chivas USA of MLS along the road.
He was starting to get a reputation as a Black Widow in terms of, you had Chivas, you had the Scorpions, you had the Aztecs. After he would leave, the team didn't seem to suit up the next year. But he has since found plenty of successful squads, including a championship with Miami last year, and look forward to seeing him back on the pitch here in his hometown soon enough. So SAFC, the first of 2 clashes this year with Austin. Neither team able to take advantage of a handful of opportunities we've seen, including some set pieces on this end. As that one off the backside of Okugo.
Yeah, fantastic stuff there from Cristian Perano, able to ride out the would-be tackle. Just so difficult to take the ball off his boots when number 19 in white has it. Perano playing the trigger man, wants a better opportunity, and I think Billy a bit unhappy he didn't get that ball quicker.
Right now, Diego Restrepo at his back, nothing but well wishes from the Bold supporters. Their focus may change a bit when Jonathan Viscosi joins them for the second 45.
Yeah, he has that Bold supporters group, La Cinco Doce, behind him, newly formed, the area code of Austin, 512.
And first man on this ball again, Taylor, native of Portland, Jamaica. Also spent his time in the other Portland with the Timbers, as Diego will send this one back up into the midfield. And Austin will win this, but not in a dangerous spot. But we will see our first flash of mustard today, the yellow on Magura Uche.
And the question was when it was going to come out. It was only a matter of time with the physicality of this match. And the heavy tackle earns the SAFC man the first booking.
And while this yellow will go to SAFC, you essentially imagine everybody else is on notice now.
Our referee letting him play early on, had a few words after fouls.
First card of his professional career, the rookie. Played his college ball, UNC Greensboro, after growing up in England.
Very tight, 26 minutes in. Neither side has been able to pull away. No real opportunities for either side. The best coming for San Antonio, but Restrepo able to come up with a big save.
Lincoln Rose, Kip McConico, Megan Birdsong with you tonight. Great to have you with us. Home opener here at Bold Stadium. Inaugural season for the Austin Bold, members of the USL Championship in a rapidly expanding both Western and Eastern Conference here in the top level of the USL. It's a reminder, League One getting started now. Exciting times in the second level of USL as well.
The growth just incredible from 2017 on to 2018. Not just the new teams, but the fans of USL as well.
No mistake by Viscosi as Malice sent one his way. Malice, one of the first now to retreat back into the center circle.
And Malice putting in a good shift, heavy work rate from the Scotsman up and down the pitch, doing his job.
We've heard conversations from the league as Forbes again as well as he can put punctuation on the ball, can also get his teammates involved. That time, the Bold able to survive the effort. But this is a league that they talk about growing it to 40 in the championship level, then perhaps League One to 40 as well. And there is the interest around the country as this game continues to swell with interest. And we know when that World Cup comes around in North America in 2026, it will be exponential, the growth at all levels.
Well, people always point to the real growth of soccer in the States happening after the '94 World Cup, hoping for something similar. The U.S., again, able to host another festival of football.
Still looking for our first scoring strike of the night.
Wise thing there, alleviating pressure. Back to Restrepo.
Again, Diego, 2 years in San Antonio.
And the wind just hanging that one right up in the center circle.
His first year, Matt Cardoni, by virtue of the prior year, brilliantly stepping in for an injured keeper. It would be then Restrepo who would step in for an injured Cardoni before he would go on to become your keeper of the year in the USL. And back and forth in frame last year between the two talented goalkeepers as the flag is up here.
And so often that's the case, especially in goal. An injury, an illness, a few bad matches opens the door for someone to take that job between the sticks. Viscosi hoping to do the same tonight for San Antonio.
Looking to link up with Barmby. Has some space, also has Forbes. We'll pull it back.
I see Barmby just have a go in that situation as that one crept up on the shoulder.
Yeah, handball on Billy.
And not happy, but Barmby certainly has the ability to pull the trigger from out there. Had some space. Maybe a bit too unselfish from the Englishman.
Austin at this point against Reno had its first ever goal as a franchise, courtesy of Kleber. They have certainly tested Viscosi on a couple of occasions. But at the moment, 0-0. Midway through the 30th minute of this opening half. One on one out on the wing. Oh, well played. Conca just could not slip it through the last line.
Oh, beautiful ball in, perfectly placed, well weighted to the top of the box, right to Conca. And Argentine must do better with a gift like that.
Second chance, but a touch heavy.
And another good entry ball to an Austin forward.
Perhaps a third opportunity building. Marcelo Serrano likes to compare his roster to ingredients for a enjoyable meal. You never know what that meal is going to wind up being, but he's confident he has had the right grocery list for a couple of months now.
More than one occasion, he's made that analogy, saying without the best ingredients, you can't make the best meal. Austin thinks they have the best ingredients.
McFarland, a couple of dance partners. Collision at the top of the 6. Bold unable to take advantage.
Great ball in. Again, Javi Baez playing the trigger man. Sent that one in. Austin starting to look more dangerous the last few minutes, having more possession. Take another look. Baez, just too much room. Lofts that one in, looking for Promise Isaac.
And Isaac held out the first couple of matches with a hamstring. Now back to form. Actually came over from the Georgia Revolution of the NPSL along with current teammate Clayton Adams, who went to the Bold tryout up in Iowa. Next thing he knew, got a phone call from the 512.
Adams, known as Speedy Joe, the fastest player on the Austin roster. Second time he's used an open tryout to make a side. Did so with the Georgia Revolution previously.
going to find anything up the spine.
Austin looking their best when they send it out wide at the feet of guys like Isaac, such an impressive player, won a silver medal with Nigeria back in the 08 Summer Olympics, member of that Nigerian U23 national team.
Yeah, great showing in Beijing, just came up a little short. Hernandez. Whom will that wind favor by the end of tonight? From distance, a souvenir, nothing more.
Obviously well off the mark, but something you'd like to see a bit more from San Antonio. Playing with the wind at their back in this first half, and they really haven't utilized that advantage.
Just one shot on frame tonight from SAFC, but that's an interesting opportunity right there. You just don't know what's going to happen. As the wind catches hold, Restrepo not needing to intervene that time.
He's only been tested once this evening. San Antonio is going to have to do a better job forcing their former goalkeeper into some saves.
Restrepo will step back inside the 18 as he can pick it up. Well, Diego's not the only guy who's been on both sides of this Austin-San Antonio rival. Of course, Ryan Rushandel hung up his boots last year with SAFC after he had seen time with the Austin Aztecs. Ryan, over the years with SAFC, talk about a guy who's worn the captain's armband, has worn the broadcaster headset, these days has the coach's clipboard.
Yeah, he can do it all. So many connections between these two teams on and off the pitch.
Opportunity for San Antonio.
And again, Baez comes up big, able to get a touch to it. Javi Baez there defensively. The star thus far for Austin, without a doubt.
Hernandez, when in doubt, look for 77.
Billy Forbes has not had opportunities to really get involved. The few times he's had it, Austin has been able to mark him quickly, and credit Zion McFarland doing a good job keeping on Billy Forbes. Knows what he can do, how dynamic a player he is, and so far he's kept him in check.
The greatest goal in San Antonio professional history came off the boot of Billy Forbes. At the time, it gave the San Antonio Scorpions of the North American Soccer League a 2-0 lead in the Soccer Bowl against the Fort Lauderdale Strikers. This is, of course, after Rafa Castillo with his bicycle kick had helped giving them an advantage. Scorpions would fold in 2015. NASL would go a year later. Of course, Scorpions head coach that year, Alan Marcina, on the staff of Darren Powell, joining them this season. So many great names still around Toyota Field. The memories there as well.
Huge tackle there from Austin, doing their work defensively, not shying away from the 50-50 balls.
Mentioned that Rafa Castillo not traveling tonight due to illness.
A big loss to have the veteran, former Colombian international, played professionally in his home country, did so in Egypt with great success.
Talk about a San Antonio team. You lose Darnell King to Nashville this year. Greg Cochran retires. Ryan Felix departs. Cyprian Hedrick, Mike Seth they saw last week. And now tonight a new goalkeeper. That's a fresh five, not with the team a year ago.
A lot of new faces the Alamo City fans still getting used to. Both these teams, so much talent, just trying to figure out where everyone fits. That's always the question preseason. How quickly does it take for the team to gel?
Can either Texas side find a goal before we reach halftime?
I like the work on this right side. McFarland from right back. Baez there in the midfield looking good. See if they can get Conca involved above them.
Just a few empty seats shining through right now is likely their occupants opting to stand midway between concessions and game action. Little over 5,000. This new stadium And Restrepo just wide of his frame will keep it in play.
Man, what a beautiful stadium this is. Austin fans so long have been looking. They played in high school football stadiums, but now having something that they can truly call their own. San Antonio's had that for a long time with Toyota Field, one of the nicest stadiums in the country. Now Austin's something to brag about in their home pitch as well.
Austin captured its first ever point as a team in that scoreless draw against Las Vegas. I think Marcelo Serrano thinks Austin has more distractions than Las Vegas does. He didn't mind keeping them out there the full week. With Reno being their second match, they did not come home. They stuck around in Nevada, as Promise Isaac trying to extend a hand here to Akon.
The ball played. You see Isaac there just going up high, catches Akon, and no malintent there, checking on the SAFC man.
Akon, the rookie out of Ghana, played his college ball at Bowling Green here in the States. Makes his fourth consecutive start now for his new son, the rookie. Oh, there was an opportunity with a man down. But Austin's ability to recover quickly tonight has not gone unnoticed.
That's exactly what that was. Fantastic work recovering quickly. Viardi, the Frenchman, able to get there. A beautiful job. He's going down. Tremaine Taylor. Viardi coming in, spares the blushes and keeps it scoreless.
Denies Christian Parano a chance to possibly find his first goal with his new club. Into space. Nobody to play with.
Man, Parano's been impressive thus far, but he needs help. Can't do it all by his own. Coach Serrano saying that one of the big reasons he's gotten these big names to come here is because of Austin. They're happy to come play in a city like this.
Forbes, flag stays down, unable to salvage it. Simply a goal kick coming up for Diego Restrepo. Gives us a chance to check back in with Megan Birdsong.
Well, guys, tonight, Bold Stadium has been such an exciting atmosphere. There are 5,036 seats in this stadium, and they are filled to the brim. It's the first soccer-specific stadium built here in Central Texas, and they all have full back seating. It is beautiful atmosphere. More than 60% of the seating is covered with a structural steel frame roof. And I talked to one of the assistant coaches about what the players of the Bold were thinking about the stadium. They said they're excited. It's a beautiful site, and they're just excited to continue to pack it out throughout the season. Guys?
Thank you, Megan. Look forward to her conversation at the break about this new Texas rivalry. Copa Tejas trophy is on site here in Austin, and it's a beaut.
Oh, it is. It's absolutely stunning. In the first match, USL Championship between Austin and San Antonio. You mentioned they played previously. Austin with the Aztecs, San Antonio with the Scorpions of the NASL. Austin has not lost to San Antonio.
Quick restart. Still a chance to salvage this opportunity here on the wing as Hernandez again playing forward off that back line.
And again, Javi Baez, the former Chivas of Guadalajara man, doing it all.
Oh, when that ball hangs up there, it must feel like an eternity, especially with Forbes in the area.
Final 4 minutes of this first half. See if either side can come up with a goal. That would be huge momentum-wise going into the halftime break. It's been even through the first 40 minutes. Teams have had opportunities. Neither has had a great opportunity. The official, as he has all game long, letting him play.
Almost too patient there. Hernandez looking ahead. Forbes in the box. Billy off the left boot. And nobody on the back end. Oh, for San Antonio fans, that's like Manu Ginobili in the paint with a behind-the-back pass and nobody there to lay it in.
What a job by Billy Forbes. Watch the defenders slide by him, held onto it, but no one able to get to the end of it. He sent a perfect ball diagonally across the top of the six. Not a teammate in white there.
Again, Forbes not only had 10 goals 2 years ago with San Antonio, but 9 assists as well. This year, he'll have the chance to play along the side with players like Lang and Guzman. Of course, Gomez tonight. Noticeable absence in the midfield, Pekka.
Yeah, so much talent from the San Antonio side. Mentioned Lang, Guzman, both on the bench.
Opportunity squandered a moment ago, but here comes SAFC once more. 2.5 to go in the initial scheduled 45 minutes.
San Antonio looking the better of the two sides the last few minutes. Can they poach one? Can they find one before the halftime whistle?
Joshua Yarrow, product of Georgetown, most recently with Philadelphia Union. With the tackle there. Viscosi looks on. Bold able to land on this one with McFarland.
As good as McFarland is, not the guy you want in that situation, being the creator, trying to get something going, but it will be an Austin throw.
McFarland does win this toss for the home side. What a night it's been for Baez past couple of years in Liga MX.
One of the biggest signings for this Austin side. Talk about what he's done south of the border. 250 appearances in the first division.
Sion last year, a teammate with Chris Tierpak at Miami for Paul Dalglish. They would go on to win the title. Fans here in Austin thinking this may be the moment. A chance to find the back of the net before heading to the locker room.
Not a great ball there from Jermaine Taylor, the former Jamaican international, over 101 caps with the Reggae Boys. Just couldn't find his intended target.
And simply a goal kick here for Viscosi.
Isaac doing everything he could in that situation, really pressing.
Set pieces for both sides have been minimal here tonight.
Very cleanly played game. We've seen one yellow. Opportunities have come through the run and play, few and far between as they've been. You're right, very few set pieces.
Of added time in the first half.
You see on the clock, at least 1 minute to be added here in stoppage time. Will that be enough for Forbes to work his magic? Billy atop the 18. This one will go wide. No deflection involved, simply a goal kick.
But again, why not? You've seen those shots from outside the box. Forbes able to put it on that dangerous right boot, just couldn't put it on frame, unable to force Restrepo into a save.
A lot of new traditions being started tonight. Still waiting for that first ever goal celebration for the home side. And there is your opening half.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's the end of the first half of play. The score at halftime.
First ever meeting between the Bold and SAFC. 45 minutes in the books. Still 0-0. In just a moment, we'll have a chance to check in with Marcelo Serrano as he's with Megan Birdsong. Let's check in with those two.
Coach, a couple of opportunities. You guys are so close. You are unable to capitalize. What do you think that your team needs to do better in the second half?
Yeah, we are playing against the wind, and the wind is really strong. And even though we had the better opportunities in the match, we could, like you said go to halftime as a 2-0. But let's, right now, play in favor of the wind. Let's see if we can get the goal.
What is your message to your team in the half?
Well, just the patience now. Playing against the wind is strong. Right now, let's see if we can have the possession of the ball to try to score.
Thanks for your time, Coach. Appreciate it.
Megan, thank you. When we come back, we'll talk a little Copa Tejas. Austin, San Antonio. A pair of zeros on the board midway through.
Little ones agree, more is better. At Dell Children's, we feel the same. Our clinical expertise is more convenient. Our care teams and connection to the Dell Medical School at UT Austin means we have the most pediatric specialties in the region, including heart, brain and spine, emergency care, and more. The only comprehensive children's hospital in Central Texas. More. Only in Austin, only at Dell Children's.
Get the perfect cut that fits in perfectly to your schedule. With HEB Curbside and Delivery, our expert shoppers do the shopping for you, so you save time and money. HEB Curbside and Delivery. If you've got a laundry list of a grocery list, just enlist HEB. With HEB Curbside and Delivery, our expert shoppers do the shopping for you, so you save time and money. HEB Curbside and Delivery.
The Toro Time Cutter zero-turn mower. Crafted by people who have devoted their lives to the idea that creating a beautiful yard starts with a perfect design, durable construction, award-winning innovation like Smart Park, Smart Speed, our own V-twin engine, and Toro's professional quality of cut. The Toro Time Cutter. I build it, I own it, I count on it.
Available at your independent Toro dealer or the Home Depot.
Halftime in Austin. Home opener for the Austin Bold. At the moment, 0-0 against rival San Antonio FC. Halftime continues.
Care and have the people available for you on the field. And you can rest assured that Ascension Seton and our affiliated physicians will be ready to serve. And so with that, I'd like to welcome up to the stage the owner of our new soccer team, the Austin Bold, Bobby Epstein.
You know, I was trying to think of a lot of the similarities, and there are a lot of similarities between Ascension Seton and the work they do and the Austin Bold and the work we try and do. With all the giving you do, we want to be meaningful too. And for that, and to show our commitment to this community, the Bold are going to give 5% of all their ticket sales to Dell Children's Hospital.
Right here. Megan,
halftime here in Austin between the Bold and SAFC. Third match ever in the young history of Austin here in the USL Championship, as they are coming off a bye week. Lincoln Rose, Kit McConico welcoming you back. As here at the halftime break in a moment, chance to check in with Megan Birdsong along with both Steve and Danielle, her conversation. Let's go ahead and check in, and for the first time, a chance to look at Copa Tejas.
The creators of the Copa Tejas rivalry that we have here in Texas. Guys, tell us a little bit about how you created this and what was the meaning behind what you're doing.
Well, we wanted something like the Cascadia Cup in MLS, and now there's 4 teams in the USL in Texas, so we wanted to just bring that same rivalry, that same passion that already exists. As you can see, the San Antonio fans here and the Austin fans, so we just wanted to have that passion and rivalry.
So it's also just a celebration of all of the different supporters groups on all the 4 teams. So it just makes each game where these teams are playing so much more meaningful.
And do you guys have a committee behind this? Who runs this Copa Tejas?
We're the ones who basically step forward to do it. We're working with all the supporters groups, but we're doing all the administration of it. So we're sort of driving it, but in conjunction with all the supporters groups around the state.
So where you guys get the honor of presenting this beautiful trophy?
Yes, and hopefully at the end of the season, it'll also be the supporters group of the team that wins presenting it to their team and really being able to celebrate with their team. So it's not just a team trophy, it's a supporters group, it's a fan trophy as well.
What an exciting time for Texas and what you guys are building here. We're excited to have this here to be able to show everybody the excitement coming around Copa Texas. Thank you.
Thank you. And check us out on Twitter.
So what is your Twitter handle?
At Copa Tejas.
Copa Tejas, guys. Check them out on Twitter. Thanks, guys.
Megan, thank you. Of course, Danielle wearing her Crocketeers scarf, while Steve, a proud father of Sean Arters, who, of course, has played professionally in San Antonio. You take a look at the preliminary standings last week in El Paso. It was a 2-2 draw. RGV battled back from a 2-goal deficit to salvage a point apiece. If one of these two sides, Austin or San Antonio, can prevail with the full 3 points tonight, they'll be your early front runners. Of course, the next Copa Tejas clash will be back here in Austin next month when the Locos come to town.
What a fantastic competition this is. The 4 teams in the Lone Star State bragging rights because, well, everything's bigger and better in the state of Texas.
Halftime continues here in Austin, still 0-0. Halftime here in Austin. Of course, the entire USL Championship well underway. Week number 4. And Kit, already final scores over the past couple of days starting to ring in. One of these two sides hoping to capture a full 3 points tonight. Of course, Red Bulls 2 picks up a victory. Tulsa has been fantastic at the expense of one of the 4 Texas clubs in RGV FC in their matchup this weekend. I don't know if things would be going any better for the side over there with New Mexico United, and of course Tacoma Defiance rebranding this year from S2, and then finally Charlotte Independence will drop that one to St. Louis Our standings in the West at the moment, Tulsa and New Mexico again right now, the class.
Man, what a start for New Mexico. First year in USL Championship, and they are absolutely fantastic. The side out west. We talk about that battle in 1 and 2. Behind them, Timbers 2, Sacramento Republic tied at 3 and 4, and then Colorado Springs Switchbacks and OKC Energy in 5 and 6.
When we come back, a look back at the opening 45 minutes. Plenty of highlights to talk about. Perhaps a goal in the second half still to come.
Little ones agree, more is better. At Dell Children's, we feel the same. Our clinical expertise is more convenient. Our care teams and connection to the Dell Medical School at UT Austin means we have the most pediatric specialties in the region, including heart, brain and spine, emergency care, and more. The only comprehensive children's hospital in Central Texas. More. Only in Austin, only at Dell Children's.
I remember the day you asked, "What now, Dad?" So I said, find a job, any job, work hard. That's just how it is. But of course, you didn't listen. You showed me there's another way. I'm proud of you.
Be the host with the most time to spare. With HEB Curbside and Delivery, our expert shoppers do the shopping for you, so you save time and money. HEB Curbside and Delivery.
Santana Supernatural Now Tour 2019. Come celebrate the 20th anniversary of Supernatural and take a trip through the hits from Woodstock to Supernatural and beyond. July 9th, Austin 360 Amphitheater at Circuit of the Americas with special guest the Doobie Brothers. Experience the dynamic energy of Santana and find out why Supernatural is one of the greatest albums of all time. Santana Supernatural Now Tour 2019. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. Produced by C3 Presents.
We'll fill the trunk so you don't have to empty the car. With HEB Curbside and Delivery, our expert shoppers do the shopping for you, so you save time and money. HEB Curbside and Delivery.
Well, of course, it's the first ever meeting between Austin Bold and San Antonio FC, but Kip McConico, after just the first couple of minutes, you would think these two teams have been going at it for decades.
And what a start, wasting no time. Is physical from the very beginning. Both sides really getting into it, showing the Central Texas Derby a lot more than just talk on social media. Tough play from the very beginning. Austin doing a very good job, number 17, Sion McFarland, shutting down Billy Forbes. McFarland, fantastic as the right back in the first half. Opportunities, well, this one, Barnby, the first real save from Restrepo, the former San Antonio FC man, able to come up with it. Javi Baez, absolutely fantastic outing for the midfielder in the first half from Austin. Baez with the best chance for the home team, but just pushed it wide. Couldn't put it on the frame of Viscosi. The opportunity begging for the former Chivas man.
Each side would suffer a few misses in that opening half.
And Baez again now playing the distributor, looking in for Promise Isaac, but well defended. Viscosi able to get there. Few opportunities, neither team able to take advantage. Maybe the best here coming at the end of the first half. Ball slid right across the face of goal by Forbes, but not a teammate there to knock it in.
Both teams emerging from the locker room. A reminder what is coming up just around the bend. Of course, Austin has already traveled to Las Vegas, played that scoreless draw. The Lights will now square off against SAFC. Again, that at Toyota Field next weekend. Back-to-back home games. Los Dos will wrap up that homestand over at Toyota Field. And, of course, for the Austin Bold, plenty to look forward to as well in this upcoming month. We mentioned they'll see the Locomotive as this Copa Tejas continues. But first, again, a little return match. They're going to go on the road to one of the better environments here in the USL Championship in Sacramento.
Yeah, they'll be up in Northern California. What an environment that is. Great fan support. One of the top drawing sides in the league. And then 3 matches in a row at home. Phoenix, El Paso, Real, all coming here to Bold Stadium.
That Phoenix matchup will be a midweek clash with our friends over at ESPN3, the match of the week in the USL Championship. Billy Forbes has been knocking on the door, trying to find that chemistry, that final touch with some of his new teammates.
He's looked dangerous. They found him. They just need to get the ball to him a little quicker. Give him more room to operate. That's when he's at his best, using speed to get by defenders. You saw him play the distributor, but teammates not making a move on the ball. Keep an eye on number 77. It seems like it's just a matter of time.
In case you haven't noticed, the wind has not died down here for the start of the second half as the two teams will swap ends of the pitch.
And Austin with the advantage now, playing with the wind at their back in the second 45 minutes. Something head coach Marcelo Serrano commented on, speaking with our own Megan Birdsong at halftime. We'll see how they are able to use that. See if they play a little longer ball with the wind.
It's the kind of match that could finish 1-0 or could very well start to balloon with some fireworks. Multiple goals on both sides.
I think you're exactly right, Lincoln. This is the kind of match you get the feeling that if somebody is able to find an opener, the match will start to open up. So much at stake. It's a rivalry match, a derby in Central Texas, and obviously the first Copa Tejas match for these two teams, both looking for their first league win of the season.
A great fan experience here tonight, whether you're cheering on Austin or made your shortest trip ever to watch San Antonio on the road. You talk about those other rivalries, quite a journey south down to RGV and, of course, out west to the newcomers with the Locomotive in El Paso.
And that's a lot of what makes a good rivalry. Fans in Europe and South America know it. Proximity, well, breeds contempt in a lot of cases, and that is the case. You can see that one early in this match. These two teams, they know each other. They have players that have played for both teams, and I don't think they're big fans of each other.
See Kleber organizing the troops for the Bold.
And Kleber really not getting involved. Couldn't figure out a way to put his impact in the match in the first 45 minutes. We'll see what the Brazilian could do come the second half.
Again, Promise Isaac making his debut. And Christian Pirano would like a little more slack in those sleeves.
Pirano wants the whistle to blow so he can get warm, get back to it.
The Argentine.
Haven't seen a lot from his countryman, Brian Gomez, the other new addition, playing now with the ball at his feet. And Pirano, very impressive start.
Well, both teams, again, some opportunities that they'll replay over and over in their minds. That back line has kept Restrepo and his sheet clean thus far.
And both defenses have done a good job. Both back lines have done what they've been tasked with. Tremaine Taylor, Jamaican international center back. Really the leader of that back four for Austin.
First time these two cities have met since 2015 when the Division II Scorpions met the Division III Aztecs twice, both in an exhibition and, most importantly, in the U.S. Open Cup. The Aztecs actually came away with the victory in both of those. Ryan Rushandel back then with Austin, as was Chris Tierpak. On the other side of things was Matt Cardoni with the Scorpions in front.
And back in the days of the famous Queso Bowl.
Great supporters groups, of course. Crocketeers continue in San Antonio. Eberle's Army on the other side of that rivalry. Supporters group in Austin. Great to see these two teams finally representing their cities in the same level, the same league, making the rivalry all the more sweeter between these two Texas cities.
It absolutely does. Getting to play each other once at home, once away. The fans able to make the trip to the opposing team's venue because they're so closely located.
Out for a stroll with Daviardi.
Isaac doing a very good job there, holding up the ball, waiting for reinforcements.
I don't think the Bold hide the fact with each player announcement you're wondering how much was left in the bank. One of the more expensive rosters in the USL Championship. There were essentially at least 3 goals for the team this year. The USL Championship title, the US Open Cup, a deep run, and of course, Copa Tejas. Well fed. Viscosi came off his line just in time.
Great work there, able to beat Kleber to it. But you saw Daviardi, he was open on that wing. Why not play the ball out to him? Had the opportunity to act on down on the pitch. Here's another look. Looking to play the tight ball. Had to put that one on a dime.
And it was not Viscosi. But instead, a teammate who gets tangled up. You saw Akan probably got the worst of that.
Mentioned this high-priced roster for Austin. They've made no bones about it. They want to win a championship. They're not waiting for a year or two to get their feet wet in the league. They are gunning for a championship in year 1.
Love to see the confidence there in Viscosi directing the troops. Again, that kinder, gentler supporter section behind him may have just dialed it to a different setting here for the second half.
Physical play just continues down on the pitch for Austin. Marcelo Zaragoza.
Zaragoza, who was nursing a calf injury, keeping him out of the first 2 matches this year. 9 years in MLS. We saw him win it all with the Galaxy, that MLS Cup. In fact, a sweep, both the MLS Cup and that US Open Cup in the same year, back in 2005.
Just a bit too much there. Zaragoza clearly had gotten rid of the ball before the tackle came. Wondered if we would see goals in the second half. One thing I can assure you, we will see more cards if this type of play continues. Just 1 in the first 45 minutes.
Zaragoza would find a second U.S. Open Cup title with DC United 8 years later. We've since seen him again with the Tampa Bay Rowdies, now members of the USL family. Neither coach has burned any of their substitutions as of yet, both with all 3 still available. They're not going to keep all of them in their back pocket when the 90th minute rolls around.
It'll be interesting to see what that first change is. So much firepower on the bench for both teams. Talking about Evra Guzman, Lance Lang for San Antonio, Austin with Andre Lima, the former Gremio man.
Trying to link up there with Gomez. Again, talking about instant impact. Gomez finalized as the newest member of SAFC 2 days ago. Finds himself in the starting 11 here on the road. Fans quick to embrace the teal and gold. Such a unique setting. Again, we are here at Circuit of the Americas, already an international stage. Here with the international game.
Good idea there, Kleber looking for Baez. Austin still with it. Flag raised. Isaac just couldn't time his run.
A great pass. May have had a limb extended on that ball. And Viscosi never needed to intervene. Simply will reset things here.
One of the big questions about this Bold team, the age on their roster. A lot of players in their 30s. A lot of these guys, I've spoken with them, and they said, look, this is something that we're proud of, that people continue to question our ability at our age. They want to prove themselves. Want to prove they still have it.
And this time the whistle against the home side. And Daviardi came to the States for college, played for both Duquesne and Delaware. Going to be drafted in the Super Draft a couple years ago by Minnesota United. And a tad heavy.
And no reason really to send that ball if you're Austin unless it's just completely wide open. I'd like to see them play to feet. You have the talent. Not a lot of height, not a team that's going to play that Route 1 ball. Much rather keep it on the turf, play quickly in those triangles.
Well, you talk about San Antonio's side that had given up more goals than it cared to mention over the first 3 matches this year. Make the change in frame. Jonathan Viscosi has yet to see one get past his line tonight.
Viscosi's done his job, as has his counterpart Restrepo. That being said, neither one of them has really been tested. One good shot from Barnby. Restrepo able to respond with the save, but Viscosi, the best opportunities for Austin have just been balls played into the box, nothing really on his frame.
Moises Hernandez, again, one of the new names on the back line for San Antonio, among the more active defenders we've seen tonight. Of course, also pushes forward for the visitors.
And Hernandez, a former FC Dallas man, has done a very good job, great pace.
Bold back inside the 18. And an opportunity out wide coming up, likely here for Austin, out on the wing. And our second yellow directed to the men who made the trip up North I-35.
And it's going to go to the aforementioned Moises Hernandez. He picks up the yellow. Austin, an opportunity here. Sion McFarland wins the free kick. A dangerous set piece for the home team.
What does Austin have in mind here?
Conca standing over it.
Dario Conca, your captain in this inaugural year for Austin.
Again, not a ton of height on this Austin roster. Malice, the tallest there at 6'2".
Where will that left boot issue this one? And it is simply a goal kick, a dispute there. Austin thought they could let that ball roll into touch and would have themselves perhaps a corner, but not the case.
Yeah, interesting there from Conca, playing it hard into the near post to the first man. Really the only option he had, well marked by San Antonio.
You mentioned no great target for Austin. Nobody taller than Malice at 6'2" on the pitch.
And Austin letting that one trickle over the inline. Thought San Antonio had touched it last. It was not the case.
Daviardi back out to Toma. But too many white kits in the area. Malice for a moment there through the wickets of green.
And for Austin, just not enough movement off ball. Too much standing around and watching the man with the ball at his boots. Have to assist him.
San Antonio survived a couple looks. Chance to answer. Point blank, they shut down Forbes. They've done a nice job blanketing Billy tonight.
And again, it's Sion McFarland, the Jamaican. He has been on Billy Forbes all match long, and he's matched him step for step.
Talk about Texas ties. Billy Forbes, well, of course, had international duty with Turks and Caicos this past week. Missed the match for SAFC. Played some college ball in Lubbock for those chaparrals at Lubbock Christian. make his pro debut in San Antonio years back, would find a professional title along the way. Now in his third stint with the Alamo City. Malice eyes up the pitch, back post. And that one took a left turn a bit prematurely.
And Malice looked like he even confused his own teammate. For the second, he was going to pull the trigger, put it on goal instead. He was trying to play it onto Baez. A beautiful ball. Baez just slow to get to it. That all came from Restrepo, the quick outlet, the punt up the field. Thomas Isaac able to track it down. Baez certainly been the most dangerous tonight for Austin. I think if they're going to find a goal, number 8 is going to have a hand in it.
Viscosi not winning over any of the slightly partial fans here in Austin. As he finally issued his boot into it. This one sent in, back post, too tall for Billy.
That first real opportunity there for Gomez. A good move to shake the defender, but the ball not on target.
And for the first time tonight, the Bold receiving a flash of color. Hernandez on the receiving end of the foul. And I believe it was Sion McFarland who gets his first caution.
And Hernandez, who's sitting on a yellow of his own, indeed, and studs up in there to the shin, and McFarland lucky that he's only seen yellow for that tackle.
Yeah, Austin may be fortunate they're not down a man. First booking.
I don't exactly know what McFarland is trying to plead in his case there. That was as clear and obvious a foul as you're going to see. Maybe thanking the official for just giving him the caution.
Well, Jack Barmby has established himself as a great option for set pieces. Let's see if they can make a threat out of this one. Barmby. Too low, too short. But an opportunity here. Fired towards the far post. And Diego Restrepo questioning the organization that allowed that quality look from Yarrow.
Restrepo has every right to be angry. His defense just really a mental lapse right there, and very lucky Joshua Yarrow, the man from Ghana, didn't put that one in the back of the net. Austin defense not marking number 4.
And Too Heavy quickly races ahead to Restrepo. You see the standing room only crowd. Great vantage point of this one. And the offside flag is up.
San Antonio bench up on their feet, warming up. They make the first change of this match.
Well, you talk about great venues here in the USL Championship. San Antonio fans certainly spoiled with Toyota Field. Doesn't get much better in this league, but Austin has themselves a great home to compete here throughout the summer and fall.
And what a venue that is. Absolutely beautiful stadium down in the Alamo City. Today it was host to a Major League Rugby match between Austin and Rugby United New York. Heard that Rooney came up victorious in that one.
Yeah, pulled out the goals, put in some posts. As long as there's no football yard lines painted on the pitch. Looking for a ball to run on, a foot race. And Restrepo with enough support there. He'll be the cheerleader with a big thank you card being sent to Jermaine Taylor and company.
Yeah, Taylor coming in to clean it up. Looked like Parano was going to be able to secure that one. He would have been in on goal. Very nicely done by Jermaine Taylor in an instance where he had to make the tackle cleanly.
There's a miscue. But ultimately, Gomez in his debut cannot find the opener for his account.
And gift found itself at the feet of Brian Gomez, the former San Martin man from Argentina. Just flicked on off the back heel, and Gomez knows he should have done better.
Everything but the finish. Both teams with some creative types. There'll be no shortage of highlights this year, but right now, a scoreless draw in the capital city.
And it's been a mix of good defending and less than clinical finishing from both teams.
Looking for a weakness out on the wing, unable to track it down.
Austin again resorting to that long ball down the far flank.
Kit, we talk about what professional soccer means both in San Antonio and in Austin, and of course the growing of the game. We've seen that when the Bold made a commitment to Julian Gaines, the 16-year-old, just now working on his driver's permit. San Antonio last year, we saw Ethan Bryant emerge, quickly a fan favorite for all the right reasons. Now 17-year-old, able to find a goal in one of his final matches last year. But you are creating opportunities for local talent. If not here, then either in Europe or MLS. Of course, they're still eligible to play college. They're not officially professionals, but they're getting all the benefits, the experience against competition.
That's a great point. Still able to play collegiately if they so choose. San Antonio's done a fantastic job, and hats off to Nick Evans, what he's done with that pro academy.
Gomez, deja vu. Restrepo knew he had support coming.
San Antonio knocking on the door, but that back line of Austin coming in to make the tackle at the last possible second yet again. Right now, San Antonio looking like the team who's going to find the first goal. I thought that was the case in the latter stages of the first half.
This one with a purpose, but wide.
All of a sudden, San Antonio just putting numerous balls into the box. Another good one there. Restrepo can breathe a sigh of relief as that one not redirected.
We'll see our first substitutions of the night for both clubs here in the second half.
I knew it was just a matter of time now, in the 65th minute, change is coming. And it will be, as I thought, Ever Guzman, who comes on, the former Morelia man, San Antonio FC leader in goals scored, will plug in up top, number 99.
As Skid just mentioned, no SAFC player has found the back of the net more often in his career and tenure in the Alamo City than Ever Guzman. 3 caps with the Mexican national team in his career. Found a game winner 2 years ago in the playoffs with San Antonio against Tulsa to continue their journey on the western side.
And Guzman, incredibly talented, great goal-scoring prowess. He knows all he has to do is work hard for 25 minutes, see if he can find something. Here comes Parano.
Guzman looking for the instant impact. Gomez. An embarrassment of riches right now for San Antonio with 99-20 and this man, 77, Billy Forbes, all up front at the same time. Darren Powell is not looking for that 1 point on the road. He wants the full 3.
You said it, this front four, Gomez, Parano, Forbes, and the new addition, Guzman, uber talented. Forbes, great work to win the corner.
Corner kick coming up here from Barmby. Into the vacated space. And the Bold survive another set piece. And how quickly these teams have gone from being on the attack to being on their heels in this up-tempo matchup.
Austin making a change as well. Valery Saramutin, the Russian from Moscow, comes on, formerly of Veles Moscow.
Born in Camden, New Jersey, but grew up in Russia. And it's as if we're back into the first couple of minutes once again of this matchup as the two dance partners find one another again.
Things are starting to open up, more chances for San Antonio. Don't want to get back to the physical whistle blowing we saw early on.
So both teams have made their first substitutions with two more available here. 68th minute underway between Austin and San Antonio. First of two meetings in the regular season campaign. For both, their first matchup in this Copa Tejas.
San Antonio's done a good job weathering the storm. The Austin fans not nearly as vocal as they were in the first 45 minutes. They knew Austin would be playing with that emotional boost. Their first ever home match. They've taken the fans out of this one. Not completely, but they've done a good job.
SAFC throwing numbers. That's going to be outside the box.
We'll take another look at it, but I think that is a heads-up play from Javi Baez. He knew that Barmby was down on the ground, and he kind of ran into the tackle to win the free kick. Here it is one more time. Baez, a 50-50 ball, and did indeed. Got to give him credit. If you know you're in that situation, there's a reason he's played over 250 games in the top flight of Mexican football. He comes up with a free kick here for the home team.
You can't tell me you've never gotten off the couch, headed to the kitchen, that left leg just fell asleep on you.
I'm a little less athletic than Javi Baez is.
What does that make me? Baez hovering over this one. In the 70th minute. Baez sends it in. From the spot, nothing more.
The service on set pieces continues to be lacking from both teams. Neither has taken advantage. Another poor ball in there from Austin, easily cleared by San Antonio.
Baez took it away from Forbes. But Viscosi will simply be able to address this ball under his own terms. Another substitution here for Austin, as I believe Fabian Garcia will make his debut for the Bold.
Yeah, it looks like Garcia will take the place of Marcelo Zaragoza.
Zaragoza not showing any side effects of that injured calf that had kept him out to start the season. Garcia, the other Frenchman in Austin these days, the 24-year-old, makes his debut tonight.
See if he can add some pace in the middle of the pitch for Austin.
They'll play on.
Kleber unhappy with that ball. It's not played to him quickly enough.
Fans, follow the Austin Bold and the rest of the USL Championship all season long on ESPN+, home to the USL, MLS, UFC, and more. Join the over 2 million sports fans who have already discovered ESPN+. Watch the championship live every week. Sign up today at ESPNplus.com. And, of course, now USL League One in its first season. Also, they've announced fans here in the States can watch it on ESPN+, internationally on YouTube. I know it's early, but fans always wondering who's up, who's down. Where does your club sit? A reminder that every Monday in the official USL Championship Power Rankings unveiled. You can find those over on USLChampionship.com.
Mentioned everything at stake tonight. Place in the Copa Tejas, first ever victory in the Central Texas Derby. And for these teams looking for their first win, it would really help move them up the table.
Baez will win himself another. Set piece.
Moises Hernandez has to be careful, already sitting on a yellow. Guatemalan having a few words after the foul went against him, and can ill afford to pick up a second for something like dissent. Baez, and you saw the arm extended up there. Baez, he's adept at drawing fouls, give him credit.
That was a quality forearm to the head. Not as much need for him to rely on his Screen Actors Guild training.
Another set piece from Austin. The service has to be better.
And San Antonio responding the way you would hope. And yet Austin again, the ball back in its lap. From 20. If it's on frame, I don't know that Viscosi gets a paw on it.
That's exactly what Austin needs to do in that situation. You want to see them take more shots from outside the box, force Viscosi into saves. Maybe he allows a rebound. You have somebody there to jump on it and knock it in. And the new addition, Saramutin, trying to get involved with the strike from long range.
And San Antonio finally, it looks, will be able to get out of its own end.
Neither one of these goalkeepers has been forced to come up with anything spectacular. Just haven't had to face a lot of shots.
Well, they have tempted fate. Back to Forbes, another beautiful service to the top of the 6. It'll simply be a toss coming up for San Antonio, as Ever Guzman was hoping to be on the receiving end of that one.
Guzman quickly making an impact after coming on, I should say.
Our referee, Yusri Rudolph, explaining we're only going to play with one ball on the pitch at a time.
San Antonio will take the opportunity to make another change.
And it's a good one. Lance Lang last year, late in the season, joined San Antonio on loan from FC Cincinnati in their final year in the USL. San Antonio quickly made it a priority to sign Lance, the Jamaican, who in his first few weeks in immediate impact helped San Antonio find a win streak with his 3 goals, 3 assists. That would keep them in a hunt for one of those final playoff spots in the West up until the final week of the season. For the Bold, Andre Lima, we see coming on for a 3rd time this year.
2 big substitutions. Lang, who leads the league in chances created with 10, really the man San Antonio needs. Andre Lima, who's played some of the top teams in South America, former Grêmio man, one of the better teams in Brazil.
So the debut of Brian Gomez comes to a completion. But you're not lacking anything up front. The fresh legs of Guzman and Lang and Billy Forbes, of course, who's gone the full 90 each of the matches so far that he's appeared in for San Antonio. Again, Billy with that goal for Turks and Caicos this past week when he had to step away.
Parano, room to run.
Threads to the back line as Guzman sees his former teammate charging on, even gives him a little fist bump.
And had Parano put that ball to the top of the box instead of off to the right, Guzman would have been in on goal, but just too much time as that ball played off the center of frame allowed Restrepo to get to it.
Will not go down as a save, but just as valuable. Baez. Looking at his options. This one over the crossbar.
Baez again dangerous, playing the distributor, able to find Andre Lima. Lima wins the set piece for Austin.
Well, it's been a great atmosphere here throughout this one. Obviously, the athletes have felt it. You know, we can use rivalry, but we are mindful these 2 teams have never met before. Austin Bold, and it's just still first month as a professional team here in the capital city. But it's the communities that make it all possible. Looking for that opening goal. Austin Bold strikes first. And for the first time in club history, Kleber able to dial up a lead in front of the home fans. His second on the Young campaign.
The Gladiator in the right place at the right time finds a gift. His second gold as a member of Austin Bold, 174 now in his professional career, and he puts the home team on top.
The Brazilian now the answer to 2 trivia questions in Austin Bold's Young history. Found that first ever goal against Reno, and just like 2 weeks ago, puts the Bold in front 1-0.
Kleber Giacomozzi, no one on the back post, no one on number 9. Calm, cool, collected. Kleber able to slot it home.
It'll be a season full of firsts. Can the Bold find their first full 3 points?
Came up from Curitiba in Brazil. Said a large part was because of his friendship with head coach Marcelo Serrano. Austin very happy to have his services.
San Antonio may have just gained some fans in the Valley as well as out in El Paso, as RGV and Locomotive, again, of course, sitting in the Copa Tejas standings at 1 point apiece. They have no interest in seeing either of these teams capturing a full 3 tonight.
The Austin fans back on their feet. Finally something to cheer about.
Forbes looking at his options. And they're not going to let him dance alone. A double team there on the wing. Forbes will win this corner kick.
Austin, as they have all game long, quick to close down Billy Forbes, not giving him any space to operate. Austin scored on a set piece. Can San Antonio find the equalizer via 1?
We enter the 80th minute. San Antonio down by 1. And for the first time, again, Diego Restrepo has a lead to work with, but Restrepo's just gone down. Diego Restrepo, after that ball went harmlessly out of play, finds himself on the pitch favoring that left leg.
Not a good sign there. It looks like Restrepo grasping at that left ankle in obvious pain.
Raiza Aguilar comes out. And that's promising that her initial instinct is to try to stretch it out. You would hope just a cramp for Diego.
Restrepo, who's dealt with injuries in the past in his long, illustrious career.
Billy Forbes questions the sincerity. Former teammates.
And Billy, always the competitor, wants to get things back going. Diego clearly in pain.
It was Billy who gave Diego so many leads to defend in San Antonio. Now Billy's probably a little frustrated. He has not found the back of the net yet here tonight. No doubt our referee, again, Yuzi Rudolph, is keeping track of how much time is elapsing here. That goal from Kleber, 77th minute. At the moment, the difference maker. Restrepo allowing 2 goals so far through 2 matches. Looking for his second clean sheet through 3 games. Baez. Can the Bold find insurance here at home? Kleber. Gladiator was hoping for a brace.
And Austin looking for the foul instead of just playing through. Pace of play already picking up after the goal. San Antonio knows time is of the essence. They're going to have to move quickly.
A reminder, Select is the official ball supplier of the USL Championship in many of the finest leagues in the world since 1947. Select has been the leader in soccer ball quality and innovation. For the latest Select products and special offers, you can visit selectsportamerica.com. And that Select ball found its way off the boot of Kleber into the back of Viscosi's net to give Diego Restrepo and the Bold their first lead here at home. Flag stayed down. Now back in an onside position. Sent in. Able to wheel one off the boot from Lima, but no. Oh, the two-time Brazilian champion, Sao Paulo, as well as Fluminense, looking for his first goal right there.
That beautiful ball played into Andre Lima. An equally impressive save there from Viscosi.
Billy Forbes has talked the talk. At any moment can walk the walk, but not that time.
For the first time in the game, Forbes with his pocket picked. Something San Antonio fans rarely see.
July 3rd, the rematch between these two sides. As Austin will win some breathing room here.
Lima, the big man, the target forward, just under 6'2". We added Hernandez breathing down his neck, and Hernandez continues the physical play, even with the yellow card.
He thinks that yellow was wiped clean at halftime.
Austin needs to be careful. It looks like they have one eye on the clock. That is not a good position to be in, trying to waste time. Get yourself out of an offensive rhythm, especially against a team as talented as San Antonio.
Last time we saw Austin with a lead, again on the road at Reno 2 weeks ago, but they would surrender 2 goals. Watch all the points slip away.
Austin with a 1-0 lead at the break. 2 goals from the home team, giving them all the points.
Nice job there by Michael LaHood, briefly winning it back for San Antonio. Isaac, just a touch heavy.
Maybe a touch too many there from Isaac. Had the opportunity to cut it back inside. Tried to play himself into a bit of space. Well marked, San Antonio doing a very good job. Great flick on from Andre Lima. Yotto doing a very good job not giving Isaac space to pull the trigger.
You know, I mentioned Michael LaHood in the midfield getting his first start tonight for San Antonio. Second appearance overall. Former national champion with Wake Forest, but just a reminder of how special this game can be. He comes from Sierra Leone, was flown to the States all by himself as a child. His mother awaited him here in the U.S. He would finally get a chance to go back to his struggling country, represent Sierra Leone. His grandmother would get to see him, the same woman who sent him off safely to the States right before she passes away.
Yeah, what a story that is. Shows soccer bigger than just what happens on the pitch. It is the world's game for a reason. Everything that it encompasses, bringing the world together, quite simply nothing like it.
Well, the clock says there's less than 4 minutes, but we imagine we'll see some stoppage time pending. San Antonio will have their opportunities to answer that goal from Kleber. But will there be insurance on the board for the Bold?
Lima there, not the fleetest of foot, unable to get by his defender.
Hernandez will have a few ice packs on him on that ride down South I-35 tonight.
He hasn't shied away from a tackle.
with space. Restrepo punches it out. Oh, there were some white shirts in the area if Diego makes a mistake. Isaac, one-on-one. And you wonder how much is left in some of these legs. That's certainly not a question, though, for the man he was targeting, Andre Lima, who's come off the bench tonight.
Yeah, that pair up top, Andre Lima and Promise Isaac, just not clicking, not on the same page. We saw it before when Lima was trying to play the distributor. Now Isaac, both times, haven't been able to find the connection.
Not a bad look there off the boot of Pirano for SAFC.
As you said, there will surely be some stoppage time added at the end of this one. San Antonio really starting to commit numbers up the pitch.
Each side with multiple substitutions. Again, the cramp from Diego Restrepo, and we are being told there will be at least 5 minutes tacked on for Darren Powell's club to have a chance to at least pull this one level.
Right now, Austin seemingly parking the bus. Everyone back behind the ball with the exception of Isaac and Lima.
And a special moment tonight. Forbes keeping this opportunity alive, but taken away. As we hear the chants from the Bold fans, we're reminded all that frustration dating back to 2015 when the Memorial Day flood robbed them of pro soccer. They finally have a chance to come home, unite at a stadium, and get behind a team and try to cheer them on the home stretch.
Easy call, frustration on the part of Cristian Parano committing the foul on Baez. Austin will be very happy to watch more time tick off. Parano lucky he doesn't see a yellow for that tackle.
Flag stays down. Corner kick coming up for the Bold as they will continue to keep San Antonio on their heels.
Continuing to take time off the clock. Lima doing the smart thing. Could have tried to cut it back by Hernandez. Played that one off the SAFC defender.
A quick restart here for Austin. Again, they just want to chew up time. Let's see if they find their way back to the corner in that flag. Kleber scored the first ever goal. It was against Reno for Austin. Now finds his second of the year, the first ever here at Bold Stadium. Looking to take advantage. That ball continued to climb off the boot of Guzman.
What an advantage that was, playing the counter. Forbes sent a good ball in, then out to Guzman, and Guzman just lifted it barely over the crossbar.
Guzman with his first goal of the year against Phoenix. So close to leveling this one.
Looking for that far side netting was Evera Guzman. Austin lucky that he couldn't put that one on goal.
All the fans in attendance now privy to the fact that there will be no fewer than 5 minutes of additional stoppage time here. The Hill Country Derby, Copa Tejas. Couple of I-35 rivals. Forbes and San Antonio trail by 1.
Forbes was trying to do a bit too much that time, had teammates he could have laid it off to.
Kai Green able to get this one back as he's played the full 90 tonight.
He's done a very good job, has Green. Garden State native.
He's been on both sides of the San Antonio RGV rivalry. Restrepo off his line. Takes a deflection. Through traffic. San Antonio is knocking on the door.
fans, knowing they are getting ever closer to their first ever victory as a franchise.
Midway through stoppage time. That clock moving too quickly for the liking of San Antonio and their fans, too slowly for Austin. No burden on the Bold to find the back of the net again. Offense right now, their best defense. Play on. Forbes with his skills on display. Billy Forbes, full speed ahead. San Antonio was looking for the penalty, but no time to debate.
Walter Restrepo, the new addition, trying to make something happen.
A former champion in his own right in his first tour in San Antonio. Guzman just a tad too short to finish that one on the back end.
And what a ball, perfectly placed across the face of goal. Restrepo, Diego Restrepo couldn't get to it. You see it here, a great ball, and David Guzman couldn't climb the ladder.
The simple, straightforward chant, let's go Bold. They can feel it, potentially a little over a minute away from a celebration here in the capital city. Viscosi mindful of minimizing the time wasted, comes out and off of his line. Free kick coming up for San Antonio.
This may be the final opportunity of the match.
Lance Lang wins this opportunity.
Barnaby to take it. Lang indeed just brought down. Free kicks have been lacking from both teams. San Antonio rectify that.
This is a San Antonio offense that can't stay quiet for much longer here in the early part of the season. So much talent up front. Looking to match the lone goal tonight from Austin. Barnaby. Second chance. Restrepo with a cape on his back. They'll say did not get a finger on it, simply a goal kick, and that's more time off the clock as the fans will await the final whistle.
The Colombian Walter Restrepo unable to get it by the Venezuelan Diego Restrepo. Perfect opportunity, but again, a shot sailing high from the visitors.
Diego Restrepo making sure that ball is on the perfect blade of grass. With time melting away, the final whistle. And for the first time in program history, the Austin Bold capture the full 3 points, and they do it all the sweeter in their rivalry with San Antonio.
Fantastic match, an incredible atmosphere. Austin, the lone goal. Kleber, the gladiator, able to find the winner in Austin, their first ever victory and their first ever home match.
So many familiar faces in this derby. The respect on display when it's all said and done, despite a heated 90-plus minutes here in the capital city. Kleber finds the difference maker on a night where both sides had opportunities.
They did indeed. Opportunities few and far between, but Austin ultimately able to capitalize on one, and that was the difference. A great match from these two rivals. A fantastic way to start off the home season for Austin.
When we come back, we put a bow on this one, a chance to check in with the victorious Bold.
Can you hear it? It's the sound of hope and health and strength. It's the sound of compassion, of open doors, where people and machines are in tune and miracles occur. It's the sound of personalized healthcare and active communities. It sounds like life, and it's what you hear when you really listen.
When they hear the sound of the drum, they'll be saying, oh Lord, here they come. Yeah, here we come. Here we come. Here we come. Here we come.
Santana Supernatural Now Tour 2019. Come celebrate the 20th anniversary of Supernatural and take a trip through the hits from Woodstock to Supernatural and beyond. July 9th, Austin 360 Amphitheater at Circuit of the Americas with special guest the Doobie Brothers. Experience the dynamic energy of Santana and find out why Supernatural is one of the greatest albums of all time. Santana Supernatural Now Tour 2019. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. Produced by C3 Presents.
Diego Restrepo leads his new side against his old.
First
the
goal
Austin
ever.
Bold with the game winner from Kleber, as Megan Birdsong's with a very happy owner here in Austin.
Bobby, the first goal ever is taken by Kleber here for your team. How exciting is it to build this atmosphere here in Austin?
It's so awesome. And he came through for us in the road with the first game ever for the Bold. He came through here, and we got some great players.
You can tell there's some excitement going around here, but what kind of culture are y'all building here in Austin?
Look, this is just to have fun. And it's about soccer, and it's about coming together as a community and about having a great time. And that's what happened tonight.
And against your rival right down the road, you had a couple of players that have played in both places. How important was it for your team to get that win tonight?
Oh, I think it's good that they brought some fans here, so when it's in San Antonio, I'm sure we'll do the same.
Thanks for your time. Congratulations.
Megan, thank you. Well, Copa Tejas has a new team in the driver's seat. The Austin Bold all alone in first place after all four teams have played a match. Take a look at the final numbers.
Take a look at the shots for San Antonio, 14, but it's shots on goal, just one. Diego Restrepo able to come up with that big save. Austin, just 2 shots on goal, but one went in, and that is all you need. Austin able to come away with a victory.
They will do it again in San Antonio on July 3rd at Toyota Field. But tonight, the grand opening of Bold Stadium. And for the first time in franchise history, fortune favors the Bold.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.